What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to replace the blower motor on your '08 to 2012 Chevy Malibu. This should be the same steps for all of those years mentioned. If your interior looks like this, alright, now to access the blower motor, we're going to go under the passenger side here where the glove box is, and there will be an air duct panel here. You should be able to just kind of pull it down. There's some clips that hold it on. These little guys, they just kind of push up. So just gently move along and pull down. There's a few in the back here too, so you'll kind of have to reach back there and just push down with your hand. And then, there is a slot here, a little square, that this air duct goes into. So to fish it out, you just kind of like drop the end towards the door and pull. Get that out of our way. And I've already tested this blower motor, so I know it's bad. It's getting a good power and ground. And now you can see there is the blower motor. I have it unplugged already. So now with the removal of the actual blower, this is really dumb design. I don't know why they did this, but you'll see there's this groove essentially right here going all the way around, and that's where the blower motor mounts. And I've already started cutting it. You have to use a box cutter because they like glue it in. I don't know why they don't bolt it in, but they glue it in. So I've already gone most of the way around. You definitely want to be careful when you're doing this, but you'll just kind of stick it up there between the groove. I'm sorry, I can't get a very good light on this right now. One sec. So you can see a little better. Just kind of work it. Don't push too hard and slip and cut yourself, but kind of walk it all the way around. Like I said, I already had it 95% done when I started filming here, but you'll feel it like cut through a piece of glue, and then you'll go a little bit and you'll feel another piece, and then that part will break. Just work your way around, and then as you see, it should fall right out. This is the problem child, and you can see it was glued in. So now we're going to go get the new blower motor, and instead of gluing the new one in, I believe it comes with like a little shroud that goes around it to bolt it up, which is what they should have done in the first place. Alright, here's the new blower motor. It is Murray brand. I just got it from the local O'Reilly's. I'll put a couple different options in the video description if you want to purchase yours online, save a little bit of money. So the first thing I do is I usually plug this in and turn the key on and turn the blower motor on and make sure it works before I put it in. That way if the part is defective right out of the box, you know, and you're not wasting your time. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, as you can see, it obviously works. We're going ahead with the install. So we actually need to remove the blower case from the old blower, which is held in place by these two nuts. You can use either a 9/32 or a 7mm to take those off. I'm gonna do that now. Give me out. Alright, a little hard to do with only two hands, but I had to wiggle it a bit and pull. So if you can't just pull it right out, don't worry, this is kind of normal. Like, I had to wiggle it and pull decently hard, just kind of worked at it for a bit, but you pull it out and you'll see that there's actually something going on in here. There's notches. There's a hole in the blower here where it needs to take in air to cool the motor, so that comes in through this port, and then the plug-in faces this way. So we have to put this on the new blower now and make sure everything is lined up. Here is the new blower. I'm going to take this L shape or step notch here, and that's going to go right there where the plug-in is. And now you can see the pins come through that plastic piece, just like the factory one did. And you can reinstall those two nuts that you removed with the 7mm or the 9/32. Don't go too tight, these are small, just kind of snug them up. Now make sure to give the fan a few spins to make sure nothing is binding so far. The screws provided are either a 7/32 or a 5.5 millimeter. And yes, they do make a 0.5 millimeter. Look at that. 5.5. It's the only half size I know of though. There we go. Now they do thread into plastic, so be careful. Basically once they bottom out and then snug up, you're good. So now the exterior holes here are also unevenly spaced, so they should only go one way into the blower motor housing. I'm gonna go ahead and install our seal that was provided. I'm just gonna stick that along the top edge here around the blower motor. Now, as you'll notice, this very bottom piece does not spin, so I'm just gonna use that as like a template. Gonna go around there, and hopefully, judging by where these wires are coming from, we should be able to figure out how this goes. I believe the connector should face something like that. So we're gonna try that once I get the seal on. There we are, seal is installed. I did make it all the way around with just one of the two pieces provided. I stretched it a little bit towards the end because I realized I wasn't quite gonna have enough, but it turned out pretty good. So now we're gonna go ahead and figure out which way this has to go in and start a few screws. All right, now these aren't tight yet. I just have them all started just to kind of show you how it ended up going. As I said, once you have the lock ring screwed on to the blower, it can only go a certain way, and as I kind of figured, the connector comes out kind of towards the passenger side rear, so just like that. I am going to go and plug this in right now just to make sure everything goes well, make sure it clicks into place. If you didn't install this shroud properly onto the new fan, you might have trouble plugging this in if the pins of the new blower motor aren't lined up properly, so make sure that's all good. Now I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to lie, it was a pain in the butt to reach in here with one hand, hold the blower motor, and then start the screws, because obviously the factory blower was not held in with screws, so the holes that these screws go into are not threaded yet. So you can't hardly start them at all by finger, and then once you try to start them with like a socket, they want to go crooked, so you got to kind of keep pressure on them and push straight. So what I recommend is maybe putting a screw in all 5 of the holes first, just a couple threads just to create threads, and then put your blower up, and then you can start them all by hand and then finish putting them in once the blower motor is holding itself up. So that's what I'm going to do now, is just cinch them down. There we go, fully bolted in place, and as with the other screws that went into plastic, just go till it bottoms out, and you know, bottoms out and it's tight, basically it's snug, and that's about as far as you need to go. Make sure your blower is plugged in, and now we're going to test it one more time. All right, ignition is in the on position. Crank her up. All right, funky auto temp climate control messing with me. I had to start the car, and now you can hear the blower working properly. And then last step, don't forget to reinstall your lower trim panel, assuming you still have it. Remember, you have to line up these end squares with these ports. So you got to tip up that end first, and then you just push up to click these into place. I will try to do this all while filming. It's not always the easiest. And there we go. It's all pushed up into place. So yeah, if this video helped you out, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and make sure to check me out on Facebook at Tony the Truck Guy. Thanks for watching.